This program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell. Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Health and Wellness Monday, and our topic for today is what to say or what not to say to a person when they tell you that they have cancer. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive FI with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, I spoke with Liz McSpadden, and we talked about the healing power of self-advocacy. Head on over to YouTube, type in Intellectual Radio, and stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. Our trending topic for today, if you heard the opening of the show, then you heard a male's voice, and that is the voice of Alvin Washington. And I recently found out that he passed away. And if you listen to the end of the show, you will hear his voice. He will be the last voice that you hear on the Warriors Talk show. So a statement was put out by his business partner. Her name is Dinah Lynn Biggs, and she put it on Facebook, and she says, "We here at Biggs Radio are devastated to report the loss of our executive producer and CEO of WCHI Biggs Radio, Chicago. Alvin Washington had a radio show called Vince in the Morning. He was a radio personality, producer, and DJ, known as the voice of sportscasting worldwide, additionally serving as the sportscaster for Purdue University, Calumet, and Indiana. He worked with Al Greer and Ray Neal in the Chicagoland area. Vince he was a board member of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame in Chicago and Indiana chapters, where he received a presidential award for community service from President Joe Biden in 2022. Vince was the business partner of Dinah Briggs, and she says to please keep the family in your prayers. She talked about his last appearance, which was in Gary, Indiana, on the 4th of July weekend, where the Biggs team was at Lou Wallace all-class reunion. And she said he would go there every year for the past 10 years. He would go every year. So we're praying for the entire family. Rest in peace, Alvin Washington, a.k.a. Vince Brown. And here is your quote for today. Cancer is so limited. Cancer cannot cripple love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot destroy peace. It cannot kill friendship. It cannot suppress memories. It cannot silence courage. It cannot invade the soul. It cannot steal eternal life. It cannot conquer the spirit. I am so grateful for my sponsor on today, which is Emanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, and they have a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel COGIC at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel COGIC-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we are from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Emanuel Church of God in Christ is also having an event. They're having the annual Back to School event, which is taking place Sunday, August the 13th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago.
They will be giving away free school supplies, backpacks. There would be free snow cones, groceries, snacks for the kids, and much, much more. So bring the whole family, come by and have an amazing time. So I am grateful for my sponsor on today. If you are tuned in on any form of social media, like to share the show, please invite somebody else that would benefit from this valuable information. And I already see that Lisa has come in. What's up, Lisa? We're talking about today what to say, what not to say to someone when they tell you that they have cancer. And I know those of us who have had a cancer diagnosis have heard it all just about. And so we're going to jump right into our conversation. So we're going to start with what not to say, right? We're going to start off and then we're going to end on a positive note. So what not to say to a person that has a cancer diagnosis? So the first thing, don't tell them, don't say you know how they feel if you have not had a cancer diagnosis. Then you don't know how they feel. And it could be different for everybody, but if you never heard those words, then you don't know how that person feels. It's different from having diabetes. By diabetes, it's different from having lupus. It's different. All is different. So you cannot tell that person that you know how they feel. So please stop saying that to people if you're one of those persons that say, oh, girl, I know how you feel. And then you add your little 2-piece in there about what you've been through. If it wasn't cancer, then it's not the same. Number 2, don't say, I'm sure you'll be fine. We've all heard people say that, like, you're going to be all right. Why would you tell me that? How do you know? What do you see in the future? What has God shown you to say that I'm going to be fine with this cancer diagnosis? You don't know. Don't say that. Stop telling people that they're going to be fine when you don't know. 9 times out of 10, if you don't know what to say, then just don't say anything at all. People that are going through a cancer diagnosis, they already have enough on their plate. Then they don't need added advice from someone who hasn't been in their shoes. And normally the advice comes from people who have not been there. Number 3, don't say, girl, you got the good kind of cancer. What is that? People seem to think for some reason that breast cancer is the good cancer. If you have cancer, cancer is not a good thing. People die from cancer. Like, your chances of dying from cancer than dying from not having cancer is much high. So why you would tell anybody that has breast cancer that, oh, you have the good type of cancer? There is no good type of cancer. It isn't. And everybody that has a cancer diagnosis, their experience is different. So you may have one person that may go through treatment, or maybe don't even have to have treatment. Maybe they just had to have surgery and then that's it with them. Maybe you have somebody that had to have all of it, chemo, surgery, radiation, and maybe they're not doing so well. So stop telling people that you have the good cancer, because breast cancer is not the good cancer. You have 297,000 people diagnosed every year with breast cancer. And we already know out of that individuals, 13 women die a minute. They're dying. So how is that the good cancer when people are dying, they're suffering, the quality of life has gone down? How is that the good cancer? They're losing body parts. Like, how is that the good cancer? I don't understand that. So stop saying that to people. Lisa said, what the what? No cancer is good. In fact, hearing that diagnosis is life-changing. It really is. You are never the same after you hear that diagnosis. And you need people around you that are going to give you sound advice, or that's going to know when to insert their advice. Because, we do want to hear from the people that love us, but you have to do it at the appropriate time. So no, there's no such thing as the good cancer. No, it's not. Number 4, don't say, oh, I'm sorry. Don't say that. Don't tell them that you're sorry that they have cancer. That does nothing. It feels like you have pity on me, right? And the last thing a cancer person wants is for somebody to have pity on them. Have you ever, for those of us who have had the cancer diagnosis and you're maybe some years out and you see somebody you haven't seen in a while and they see you and they go, how you doing? are you okay? You sure? Is everything all right with you? And you look at them like, are you okay? Is everything all right with you? You know, you don't want to be rude, but you want to be like, don't look at me or talk to me and with pity with that voice. Like you can hear it in their voice. Like they're looking at you like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. Are you okay? No, are you okay? Like you should be worried about yourself, not me. Have you got your mammogram? Do you know what your status is of your mammogram? Have you got your colonoscopy? Do you know the status of that? Have you went and got a test, a genetic test to see if cancer run in your family? What's your family history of cancer? Are you okay? That's the question. Because most of the people that's going through cancer, they're going to take you through all of those things so that you know what your status is. So stop looking at people that have had cancer and talking to them like they slow, like they weak, you know, stop doing that. I try not to be sarcastic when people do it. You know, I just be like, yeah, I'm okay. And then if they keep pushing it, I'll just be like, I'm good. What's going on with you? What's going on in your life? Like, stop doing it. It's so irritating. And it makes people want to avoid you when you do it. Lisa say, it's a day that I will never forget. When I think about it, I can hear the doctor's voice as if I was in the room with her. Wow. Did she call you on the phone, Lisa, when she told you? A lot of doctors do that. And it's a day that you will never forget. I was at home because I didn't go to work that day because I knew the doctor was going to get back to me that day. So I was like, I don't want to be at work when the doctor called me. So what I did was I gave the doctors my mom number so that they wouldn't call me. They would call her and give her the news. So she called like the doctor is on the phone. I'm like, okay. So she put the doctor on the two-way. And then the doctor told me, and at that time, my oldest daughter she had just got home from school. So I had it on speaker and she heard the news when I heard the news. And at that point, I had to hold it all together because I didn't want her to see that, oh, you know, mommy is about to break down because she just got this news. I got up and I had to go pick my other 3 babies up from school. And I went and got them from school, brought them home, cooked, helped with homework, just like nothing happened. And then I had to figure it out how I was going to deal with it. Oh, Lisa said the doctor told her in person. I'm glad you got your news in person because a lot of people don't do that. They'll tell you over the phone, send you an email, anything versus confronting you with the news. And you know, I heard that it was an older man too. And I was just like, something, when he did my biopsy, I was just like, I don't even want him doing my biopsy. Like, I felt like he was really too old to, I shouldn't discriminate, but I did. I was like, he probably don't know what he's doing. He probably, you know, messed up the test or whatever. Like all kind of things go through your head. I was just like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. So you have to make sure that, oh my goodness, hold on. Number 5, let me go to number 5 because I'm not going to rant. Number 5, you have some people that will ask you, how much time do you have left? I don't know who would fix their mouth to say that to anybody. Like, especially if we're not close. Like, and it'd be the people that's not close to you that would ask you something like that. Like, how much time do you have left? What stage did they say the cancer was at? Like that's none of your business. If I wanted you to know, then I would have told you. If you don't know by now, if that information hasn't been put out to you by now, then it's not for you to know. When I'm ready for individuals to know what stage I'm at, then I'll let that information out. Like I didn't let people know what stage. I was at stage 2, but I didn't let people know for a long time that I even had cancer. I didn't say anything. I went through my treatment. I went through my whole chemo treatment without letting anybody know outside of my immediate family that I was going through cancer. I didn't want to hear the negative stuff. I didn't want people calling me and asking me questions. I didn't want anybody outside advice that wasn't a part of my medical team, that wasn't a part of my immediate family and other people that I contacted that had cancer. I just didn't. Because people will try to get all up in your business. And before you know it, the doctor done told you, oh no, you're going to be around for a long time. But after you talk to these people, girl, you got a week, 6 months. Like, I'm not God. I don't know how much time I have left. And how can you even fix your mouth to ask somebody, how much time do you have left? What did they tell you? No, you have to get rid of those people, like cut them off real quick. Number 6, these are things that you don't say to a person that told you that they had cancer. So don't tell them how strong they are. Girl, you so strong. No, I'm not. I just been given a diagnosis, and I have no choice but to get through this diagnosis. Doesn't mean that I'm strong. I just don't have a choice. The other alternative is die or go through what I need to go through. So it's not that, individuals that are going through cancer are stronger than anybody else. It's just that we have to make a choice to either go through the plan that they have given us, or we know the other alternative is the cancer is going to keep growing and multiplying in our bodies. And we could be out of here quicker than we probably would if we didn't get the treatment. Hey, Angela. So what do you do? So it's not that, we feel like, oh, we're better, we're stronger, we're more inspirational than other people. No, it's not it at all. It's just, we was given a battle, and just so happens our battle was cancer. And some of us are loud about it, and some of us are not. You have people that go through cancer that don't say anything. They keep it to themselves. They not out here wearing pink or whatever colors. They not advocating. They're not spreading awareness. They're not doing any of that. So it depends on the person. And I feel like once you do go through the cancer battle, there is some toughness to you after you go through it. Maybe not when you first get that diagnosis. You're like, what? I thought the Lord picked his battles for the strongest people. That ain't me right now. That ain't me. But once you get through it and you're like, okay, I got through cancer, I can get through anything. Angela says her favorite famous quote is, I received a diagnosis, not a death sentence. Love it. It's not a death sentence. It's just people make you feel like it's a death sentence. And because of all of the things that we've known about cancer, all the things that we've heard about cancer, is associated with death. Let's just be real. It's associated with death. Everything that we hear from, like the time that I was growing up, every time I heard somebody had cancer, then next thing you know, they was gone. It's like, what? What is this cancer? Like, I don't want that. Medicine has come a long way, as the world grow and we get more sophisticated with technology, and research should be like so elevated right now. But we've come a long way, although we're still using some of the same barbaric treatments, chemo, radiation, surgery. We have immunotherapy now. So a lot of things we're still using that they used way back 40 years ago when they declared war on cancer. We're still using those same things. Granted that it has prolonged people's lives. They honestly don't expect you to live 5 years after you get a cancer diagnosis. They don't expect you to live past 5 years. That's why they don't really, when you think about it, they'll declare you not really cancer-free, but they'll say no evidence of disease, right? I think the American Cancer Society will send you this little coin that'll say, I guess you pass that 5 years, it'll have like a 5 on it to say that you reached that 5 years. What about those years in between? Like, what is that? Do I not count those years? Do I not celebrate those years? Like, what does that mean? I remember having my surgery. My son was there, and we got home, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for my 5 years so that I can, celebrate and, cancer-free. He was like, what? Why are we waiting till 5 years? Like, no, we celebrating right now. We're not waiting on no 5 years. Like, you're a survivor right now. And the definition of survivor is as soon as you find out, the onset of the diagnosis, as soon as the doctors say you have cancer, if they found that cancer and you're still living, You're a survivor. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, girl, you got to wait. You're in a survivor. Yeah, you got to wait the 5 years. No, you're not. No, you don't. You're a survivor the minute you find out. You're a survivor. So you should start celebrating. Number 6, stop saying this to people. Oh, we did that one. Didn't we do strong? Don't stop telling people they're strong. Number 7, don't say this. Don't say this. Let me know if you need anything. Do you really mean it? Do you? I mean, really? When you hear people say that, what do they say after that? Do they give you some type of clues as to what they're going to do? No, they don't. Stop saying, let me know if you need anything. Instead, tell them how you can help them. What can you do to help them lighten their load, lighten their stress? What can you do? Because you telling them, let me know if you could do anything, you're putting a burden back on them. They have enough to worry about than to try to sit down and figure out how you can help them. Don't stop doing that. Number 8, do not say you have tried. A lot of times people will say, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Right? They'll tell you, oh, don't eat sugar. If you don't eat sugar, you starve sugar, then cancer will go away. Have you tried these herbs? Like, try these. Oh, I know somebody who went on an all green diet and their cancer went away. Where are these people? A lot of people always say, have you tried this? Have you tried that? But these people are the people who they have not had a cancer diagnosis. They have not even tried this stuff themselves, but they want you to try it and gamble with your life. No. Do your research. Everybody's going to come with some stuff that they think that's going to magically erase cancer. Have you tried doing this? You have to do what's best for you. What you think you're going to get the best results in, whatever that is for you. If you feel like it's food, if you feel like it's herbs, whatever it is, it could be a combination of things. But it's going to be so many people coming to you saying, have you tried this? Have you tried? Do what's best for you. Sometimes you're going to have to block these people out. Yes, and Angela said, here's the thing. Have they had cancer? A lot of these people haven't, but they're going to try to tell you how to get rid of it. They're going to try to tell you, with the clock ticking, with these cells dividing and multiplying inside of your body, and they want you to be a guinea pig and try all these different things. No, why don't you try it? Why don't you allow them to inject cancer into you, and then you try these things and see if you survive? How about that? You think they're going to do it? Nope, they not. Because they already know it don't work. And how do we know it don't work? Because we don't have any statistics. We have statistics that we know chemo works. We have statistics. We know radiation works. We know surgery works. We know immunotherapy works. We have statistics on those. What we don't have statistics on, and we have statistics on people dying from the side effects of cancer as well, from using those things. But the number of people that are living from using those things, people are still using the medicine, even though we know people die from it, because their benefit outweighs their risk. So don't allow people to tell you what to use, what to do, how to treat your cancer. That's a personal decision. Personal. So stop telling people. Don't ask too many specific questions related to the disease, especially if you're somewhere out in public around people and you want to have this conversation about what grade the cancer is, what size the tumor is. Like, no. If you're not my husband, my mother, or my kids, and I haven't elected to tell you, then no, you're not going to know. And don't feel bad. You tell people that information on your terms when you're ready, because you have to accept and process that information yourself. You can't run around telling everybody you haven't dealt with it, because people are going to have questions, right? They're going to start asking you questions. And if you haven't dealt with it yourself, you're going to be always in tears. Every time somebody asks you about it, you're going to be a basket case. So you're going to have to sit down and process that information yourself. You're going to have to accept it. And I know a lot of people will tell you, no, don't accept the cancer diagnosis. If you don't accept it, your words have power. So if you say you have cancer, then, you're going to have cancer. You have cancer because the medical equipment, the test that they took, verified it. It verified it. Kenya said you definitely have to process it first. And you're absolutely right. You do. You cannot share with anybody else until you process that information. Accepting the diagnosis doesn't mean that if you don't accept it, doesn't mean the cancer is going to go away. And accepting it doesn't mean you accept defeat. It just means that you have identified who your enemy is. And then you have to know how to gather your weapons of mass destruction to fight the enemy. That's all it means. It doesn't mean because you accept it, now you just, you don't believe in God, you don't have faith. No. God allowed it. You have a cancer diagnosis. You think God didn't know anything about it? You didn't think God knew that was coming down in your future? You don't think he knew that? He allowed it to happen. So if he allowed it to happen, then maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's a reason for it. Number 10, do not say this to people. Ooh, I really just despise this one. I know someone that had the same disease. Oh, I know someone that had that cancer and they did XYZ, and then in the same breath, they died. Why are you even telling me about this? Like, why? Why do I even need to know this right now, especially when I'm going through? Why do I need to know this? Just keep it to yourself. Why would you tell me something negative? Like, come with something positive. Oh, yeah, girl, my mom had cancer. She went through the treatment. Girl, she lived. She's 20 years out. That's what people that are getting ready to go through cancer want to know, or fighting cancer. That's what they want to know. Stop telling people these horror stories. We don't care. And we try with everything inside of us not to be rude and nasty to you when you say stuff like that. And if we do, nobody should blame us. So stop telling people that. Don't come with nobody in their face when they, oh yeah, so-and-so died with cancer. Oh yeah, girl, they died. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away. Kenya said, what I've learned, if you do not share with somebody, the first thing they say is, ooh, I knew somebody that passed away. Oh, wow. Passed away with, is that breast cancer, BCI? Knew somebody that passed away from breast cancer. You know what? I'm gonna do, we try to do these shows to tell people the etiquette. That's what I should have called it. The etiquette of approaching somebody that has breast cancer. And yeah, every time you say, oh, they found out you have cancer, then they know 1 million people that had cancer, but they passed away. Stop telling me, because we don't care. We don't care. We care about, we don't, and not to say we don't care about the people that passed away, but that's not what we need right now. We don't need that to feed our soul right now. We need something positive. And if all you have to share when I tell you that I have cancer, that, ooh, I know somebody that passed away, then I'm going to have to distance myself from you. I am. Kenya said, I just said that. Because you're living in the now. Exactly. And your destiny is not their destiny. So you cannot compare your journey to somebody else's. If you was diagnosed with cancer and somebody else died from cancer, somebody else is having a horrible time with cancer, that may not be your journey. So you cannot compare yourself, and don't allow somebody else to compare you to somebody else, because that may not be your journey. My sister passed away from cancer at the age of 52. I just turned 53 this year. It was hard for me to get past the 52 because I'm like, oh, she passed away at 52. But her journey is not my journey. And I didn't pick that. This is not my plan. This is God's plan. I don't know, and I don't really truly understand all of his plan. So I'm just here. I'm a vessel doing what I believe he purposed me to do. And I've learned that through my cancer journey. So for some people having cancer, they figure out what their purpose is in life. Some people walk away bitter. Some people walk away better. You get to choose what you want to do. Ooh, this one right here. Number 11, the things that you shouldn't say, the things that you should stop saying to people that tell you that they have cancer. It is not a free boob job if you have to get a mastectomy. Stop saying that. Oh, girl, you get to get some new ones. So what size you gonna get? No, this is not the same thing. It's not the same. Breast reconstructive surgery, if somebody wants to enhance their boobs, make them bigger, make them sit up or whatever, that's a choice. Somebody getting a mastectomy or a lumpectomy or whatever, they're doing something because they're trying to save their life. So stop acting like they out here getting a free boob job. I don't even know how you can even fix your mouth to say that. Kenya said exactly, or this is a way for you to get a free tummy tuck. What the real? Oh yeah, let me get cancer so I can get some free boobs and a tummy tuck. Do I need cancer to? Can I just get that without cancer? That don't even make sense. Do you think these people want to be cut with fat taken out of their stomach and putting in their breast? Do you think that's a good thing? No. That's a horrible thing. Them scars don't go away. Them scars stay with you for life. When you take your clothes off, them scars are there as a reminder. Every time you look at yourself, you're going to be reminded that this fat came out of my stomach. Guess what a fat is? Up here in my breast. No, who wants to celebrate that? Okay. Number 12. Stop saying, according to research, girl, this is what I found out. Stop trying to bring people the latest research treatment and all this stuff that you heard about unless they asked you to do the research for them. Because last time I checked, you don't work in research. You're not a doctor. Why are you bringing me this? Do you even know how to break down this information to how this information is going to benefit me? No, you don't. You just on Google searching. And we all know if you search on Google long enough, you've been committed suicide. Get your information from reputable websites. Websites that normally have that .gov or the .org. Don't just go willy-nilly searching. Ask your doctor for articles. They should be able to give you some information on it. Whatever you're telling me, print it out. Give me the information. Where did you get it from? What made you make this decision? What's so good about this medicine that you feel like this is going to do the job? Number 13, do not withdraw or avoid contact or stay away from a person because you feel like with cancer, because you feel like you are a burden to them. No, especially if you are a close friend, they need that. They need that contact. They need you to be around them, to be present, even if you're not doing anything, just be there. So don't feel like, oh, I don't want to be in the way of them doing treatment or anything. Don't do that. Don't withdraw. Kenya said, me being hard-headed. Don't withdraw. Like, you want people to be around you. Your people should experience what you're going through. You should not carry that burden by yourself. You shouldn't. You should let them in on it because they want to be. They want to be able to lighten that load for you and allow them. Don't push people away. Push the wrong people away. The right people, make sure that they're there. And so they won't miss out on what's going on. So when you're ready to celebrate, they can celebrate with you. It means something to them too. Kenya says, I had to learn the hard way about Google. My doctor told me to stay away from Google, but me, she was being hard-headed. That Google ain't no joke, man. You will think that you are dying. You be in the emergency room like, okay, the Google said I had this, and this. And they be like, well, did you read over here where it said this? You be like, oh, no, I didn't see that. They be like, yeah, no. Don't get, Google, some things on Google is valid, but and you're not really looking or researching with the right mind, first of all. You got this, oh, I got cancer, and oh, I'm having this ache or this, and this is what's happening. No, you're not even researching with the right mind. So don't stop doing that to yourself, just adding stress to yourself. Number 14, things that you should not say to a cancer patient. When they say they have cancer, do not appear so positive or light about the situation. Oh, girl, yeah, girl, you're going to be all right. Girl, you're going to be up tomorrow and doing this. You're going to be back to your old self in no time. Like, and just really ignoring the things that you're going through. Like, no, this is not a time for this. This is serious. This is my life. This is a life or death situation that I'm going through right now. And if you can't take this seriously, then you don't need to be in my support circle. Don't be afraid to decompartmentalize people. Put them in their proper departments when it comes to your life and what you need. Number 15, it's okay to show emotions, but your emotions should not be, you should not be in a crying spell every time I see you and I'm over here like, what's wrong with her? I'm the one with cancer. But every time I see you, and this is the pity people too, they see you and they look, oh, like, and they're crying no. Why are you grieving so hard and I'm the one with cancer? Like, no. And then you're going to make me feel like, dang, is she crying like this? Did she know something that I don't know? Did the doctors tell them something I don't know? Maybe I am dying. Like, we're not going to, no, what you're not going to do is disturb my peace. Angela said, my experience as a cancer survivor, when someone comes to me that has been diagnosed with cancer, I say, you have faith in God. Do you trust God? Let's fight and not allow fear to overtake your faith in God. And you got to put it just like that. Because the wrong people will have you depressed. Angela says, as if you're going to die. Exactly. Girl, you have to really, and I'm so serious when I say you have to really preserve your peace and don't be afraid to just push people to the back burner until you get through with your fight. Kenya said, that's why I live life to the fullest. Girl, you have one life. We have one life. We don't get a do-over, you guys. We don't get a do-over. This is it. Okay, you got a cancer diagnosis. All right, what I need to do, let's go. Keep it moving. I don't have time to be depressed, and I don't have time for it. I'm going to take care of what I need to do, and I'm going to keep moving. I got babies. I want to be around and see my grandkids grow. Like, no, like, I don't have time to sit and exist, living to die instead of dying to live. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not. All right, where we at, y'all? Number 16. Don't assume that because you see them looking good on the outside and they're done with treatment, that their appearance looks good, that everything is fine. Because sometimes the two, it don't match. I could be done with treatment, but my insides I'm fatigued, I have neuropathy, lymphedema, like I'm still nauseated, like stuff could still be going on, but my hair done grew back, my eyebrows done grew back, my skin complexion is right, I got my weight back. but I'm still battling in the inside. So don't assume that they are feeling well based on their overall appearance on the outside. And people tend to, oh girl, oh you all right, you look good. Oh, you don't got past that. Cancer is not a death sentence, but it's a sentence. Let me just say that. It's a sentence. It's not something that once you're done with treatment, then you're done with cancer. Oh no, baby, no. No. Especially if you're stage 4, no. No. Elisa said, I usually tell those who tell me they have cancer that I am their new cheerleader. Oh, I like that. Then I began to speak hope and life. Hope and life. Hope to a person who has cancer is everything. And that's why they seek out people that have had cancer, that are, they're still living and they got some years on them because they want to be hopeful. So kudos to you, Lisa. Angela said it most definitely is. Oh, you guys. Well, I want to get to some of the things. I'm gonna try to get through some of the things that, like, what should you say? What should you say to a person? You should say, I cannot imagine how you feel, because you can't. If you have not had a cancer diagnosis, you don't know how I'm feeling right now. And it's okay to say that. Do say, I care for you and I'm here. And leave it at that. Don't add nothing else to it. Just leave it at that. They just want to know that you care and that you are there. Number 3, do say, if you feel like talking, I'm here to listen. If they don't feel like talking, I'm here. Sometimes they just want you to be there. You don't have to say anything. Y'all could be watching TV, movies, whatever. It's just you being there. Do say, I can hear that it's been really hard for you to share, because they just share with you. But thank you for sharing. Don't take what they tell you and they share with you for granted. Let them know you acknowledge it, you appreciate it. What you should say to a cancer patient is, you've been really going through a tough time. Acknowledge that they've been going through a tough time. I see you. And it's okay. Do your best not to cry. And I just talked about you being more emotional than that person. Like, you should not. Do your best not to cry. Now, if they start crying, then share in the cry with them. But you shouldn't. Don't you start crying first. And then you have them all emotional. Do say, if you don't know what to say, then say, girl, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. And be honest. If you don't know what to say, don't make up anything. Don't try to fill in anything. Just don't say anything. Number 8, offer specific practical support, such as, I'll cook the meals for you. I'll have groceries delivered to your house. I'll pick your kids up from daycare. Be specific about it. Remember, I talked about, oh, girl, whatever you need, what do you need? I'll be here if you need me. No, tell me what it is that you can do. Number 9, ask to share permission, like topics that may be sensitive to them, they really don't want to share. Ask for permission to raise those sensitive topics versus you saying, girl, what stage is your cancer? Girl, what grade is it? Really? Where they cut you at? Can I see your mastectomy scars? Invite them out. If y'all are friends and y'all was going out before, still invite them out. Don't just close them off because you feel like, oh, I think they sick. Oh, and even if they say no, they may say no 90% of the time while they're going through treatment, but still ask. Do regular check-ins. Have it a routine to where, set your clock to where you check in with them. Hey, girl, it could be a text, it could be a phone call, whatever. I'm just checking on you. You're on my mind today. It makes a world of a difference. If they have a dog, hey, girl, I will walk your dog. I'm coming over to walk your dog. Make it a daily routine, because they may not have the energy to go out and do it themselves. See if they need a ride to treatment. So simple. Girl, I'll take you to treatment. We can go out for lunch afterwards, whatever you want to do. And then the last thing that you should say to them, you could tell them, I'm praying for you. and actually pray for them. And actually pray for them. Don't just tell me, girl, I'm praying for you. No, actually do it. Angela just said, I'm praying for you. I believe God for your total healing. Yes, Angela, come through. Yes, we was on the same page. Yes, absolutely. Lisa said, I do check in on people just because. And trust me, that it means the world to them when you do that. People don't understand. It's the little things. It's the genuine things that you can do and say to a person, and they feel it, and it can help them get through. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what they're going through that day if they one step away from harming themselves, one step away from going into a deep depression, and you text them and say, hey, girl, I'm praying for you today. Hey, girl, you got this. And not just for women, for men too, because sometimes we forget about our men. We forget because we think they're so strong, but encourage them too. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. Our topic was what to say and what not to say to someone when they tell you they have cancer. My closing sponsor is Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, and she's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. Head on over to marykay.com/GDOTSON and tell her that Warriors Talk sent you. Don't go anywhere. Coming up at 7 p.m. on Intellectual Radio is The People Show with Mark Wallace and Charles Thomas. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you would ever imagine. Don't let cancer cause you to sell yourself short and forget your worth. Join me next Monday at 6 p.m. right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.